Well, good morning. I'm Aaron Bowman, W4ARB, and I'm glad that you decided to join me this morning for another QRP CW Parks on the Air activation. So, ready to do some Morse code this morning, even though it probably won't be morning by the time you watch this, but hey, if it isn't, then good whatever time of day it is for you. Today I'm using something that's new to me. So I really like mountain topper radios. I'm not a SOTA guy. I live in central Alabama, and there's really no mountains to speak of where I live. But I really like mountain toppers, even if I'm not on a mountain. And I have a MTR4B. I recently got an MTR3B. And to round out the collection, I recently obtained an MTR5B. So a friend of mine decided he was going to sell his, offered it to me, and I very quickly said yes to that because I've been wanting one of these. So it's not too, dissimilar to the others. The MTR3B, 4B, it's kind of in between the size of the two, so it is a little bit bigger than the 3B and a little bit smaller than the 4B. But it has 5 bands. It does 40, 30, 20, 17, and 15, which is a pretty good set of bands for portable operating. But I have not even gotten on the air with this yet. All I've done with it, I got it a couple days ago. I have plugged it in and flipped the switch on to see it come on. That's it. I haven't done anything else with it. So, you're going to see it with me, experience it the first time. Let's get on the air and see how the Mountain Topper MTR5B does this morning. So, I'm going to set up my antenna and get ready to roll here in just a minute. Alright, got everything set up using my Alex Loop. Again, my favorite portable antenna. I'm actually using my Tufton knee board here this morning, so I've never used this before, but I've had it for a little while and decided to give it a go this morning. Alright, I am recording into my Sony recorder here, so I'm using earbuds this morning. I love these earbuds. These are really neat little earbuds. They kind of look like earplugs and they sound really good for radio, but I will link them in the description if you want to check them out. Alright, let me put in my spot and we'll get rolling. Got my spot ready to go. Alright, and this morning I am using a little pressure paddle. A friend of mine made this for me. It's a neat little paddle. Very simple. If you hear me a key on it and make lots of mistakes, I apologize. Alright, let's do it and see how this works. Did I lose you? I really have no idea how to give signal reports with this radio because I haven't figured out what it sounds like yet. Well, I've made a couple contacts so far. This radio seems a little bit quiet. I'm at 109.8. this little pressure paddle is very unforgiving. I'm telling you, you gotta key it exactly right. See? Excuse me. Hello, son. It's 6 contacts so far. Hey, it's getting the job done. Park to Park, K2153. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at 9 contacts right now. Not too shabby. Getting pretty close to having a successful activation here. So the Mountaintopper MTR5B is getting the job done. Thought I smelled burning electronics for a second there. Hope not. Really hope not. Alright, I'm going to do please one more call out, and I'm probably going to call it a day. Alright, so before I pack up, let's talk through the gear I've got here real quick, okay? So, I've got the Mountain Topper MTR5B. Used this morning for the very first time since I got it. And I must say, it's a Mountain Topper, and it seems like a Mountain Topper. It works like a Mountain Topper. It's quiet like a Mountain Topper. It's exactly everything I expected. So the one thing about this model, though, that I'll say, I think this is not all of them, but this particular age of them or run of them or whatever, the display is a little bit hard to read compared to the other ones, the MTR3B and 4B that I have. The contrast is pretty high on it, but overall I can read it good outdoors. It's a little bit harder to read in low light than it is outdoors. The receiver on it is extremely quiet. I think it's quieter than the 4B or the 3B, which is not a bad thing, but man, Mountain Toppers are just really, really quiet radios. It almost feels like they're not working, but they are. They get the job done. I love Mountain Toppers in general just because of their simplicity and just the way they work and sound and operate and everything about them. Man, they're just good. You just plug them in and you go. Like, I've never used this radio before. I do wish I had my memory keying programmed into it so that I could do my CQs and such, but yeah, oh well. So today for keying, though, I used the pressure paddle. I don't remember off the top of my head the designer of this, or if you can buy one. I bought this from a friend that made a few of these and sold a few, but I will link somewhere in the description what I can find on these if you want to look them up. They're really neat little paddles. I think you can buy kits for them, pretty sure. Anyway, then I used my headphones here, which are Elgin headphones. I think they're called Ruckus. So they kind of look like earbuds, and these are awesome. I keep them in my radio bag all the time in case I ever need to be quiet on an activation, or if I just want to use headphones, then I've got them ready to roll. I had them running through my little Sony recorder here so that I could record the audio from the radio for the video. So what you hear on the video is what was recorded by this little Sony recorder. It also lets me pass through my headphones so that way I can hear it too. So these are really great if you're doing activating or anything where you really want to record your on-air time and you still want to be able to listen at the same time through a pair of headphones. It's great to have a little recorder that will let you do that. I did use, because this Mountain Topper, the only one that I know of is the MTR4B that has the built-in SWR power meter. So I used this little mini SWR these things are awesome. So it's just a little SWR indicator, so it's got little LEDs for, you know, 3 to 1, 2 to 1, 1 to 1, forward. Just kind of keeps you in the know about where your SWR is. Nothing fancy, but those are really great for QRP. I think their max rating's 5 watts though, so you gotta be a little careful with them. But for mountain toppers or little QRP radios like that that don't have built-in SWR meters, man, they're great to have. And then for my battery this morning, I ran down here my little Goal Zero Venture 35 with a power delivery PD cable for 12 volts. So I was putting out exactly 12 volts. The radio is reading about 11.9, so it's probably pretty accurate. But all in all, I think it worked really well. Oh, and the Tuflin knee board. These things are awesome. And if you've got like a little flat radio like a mountain topper or even a KX2, these little knee boards are really cool. Gives you a nice surface to write on. Perfect for these little field notes. It's almost like it was made for these little field notes notebooks, because that is nearly identical size. But anyway, these little knee boards are really cool. So I'll link all the stuff in the description. If you want to check it out, then feel free to. But Mountain Topper MTR5B, my first impression is that it is just as good as the other Mountain Toppers. I've got a little bit of figuring out to do on it. I'm going to put it on my desk and play with it a little bit more, get more used to it, you know, see if I find any quirks or anything about it. But yeah, I mean, I had a successful activation first time I ever used it. I think I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 contacts. So, I mean, I didn't do anything crazy, but it gave what I wanted, an opportunity to try out the MTR5B. So, with that, I'm going to sign off, head back home. I appreciate you joining and watching me as I operate some CW here in Tuskegee National Forest, trying out the MTR5B that's new to me for the first time today. And I hope you enjoyed watching. Well, I'll catch you in the next activation video, and say 7-3 from W4ARB.